Good morning. This is Cheryl Merrill, and it's Thursday, August 29th, 2019. And this podcast is just a short one about my noticing a couple things that have happened since yesterday on social media. I've noticed some very unusual things happening. And like I say, I've been on social media for a while now, so I think they're unusual. I just completed a series about the police, okay, and my experiences with them since basically all the way back to 1972 when I was a 12-year-old. And I just completed a series on them, and I am just kind of like revealing some unusual things I've had experiences with the police. And so I noticed right away that an unusual thing happened on Facebook, okay, where I had a veiled threat that I was going to die soon, and my photographs were exposed to the public, well, not the public, but to friends and connections. All of my camera roll on my iPhone was taken to Facebook. Okay, I never turned on that feature for Facebook to just take my photos like that. And it turned on that feature for some reason. Now, I normally just manually upload photographs to Facebook, and I've never turned on that feature for them to just take all of them off from my iPhone to Facebook. So I thought that was pretty strange. I happened to notice that the photographs I was taking in my bathroom were all going directly to Facebook automatically. And so I thought that was very strange. I do not update my Facebook app on my iPhone because, well, it takes too long for me to update it, and I don't want all the, I just don't want to take the time to do it because Facebook's not that important to me, and I never update the app on my iPhone. So I can't say that it's because they did it in the update. The other issue is all of a sudden Facebook has installed this memorial section when I die that when I pass, I need to decide if I'm going to leave my profile up or not, or whether I'm going to give it over to somebody. I find the timing of my noticing that, along with these photos yesterday, to be highly suspicious. I take it, as a kind of veiled threat that I'm going to be passing soon. That's how I take it because of the timing of my reporting on the police activities. I've never seen that before, and I've been on Facebook for several years now, and I've been on the app looking at Facebook. I've never seen that before. So all of these things have changed since my recent disclosure of the police on my police series. So I just wanted to report, it's just typical activities of the police got their little tentacles in everything. And they're not about protecting the public. They're not here for that purpose. They're a corporate entity working for corporate government. They're for profit. They're making huge amounts of money on their pensions. Huge amounts of money. The police salaries went sky high the past 10 years. Sky high, where they're making like $150,000 a year, easy, to even more than that with all the overtime that they do. They're making big money now, so they're like not really here for the public. They've gotten huge hikes in there. They've got nice police cars. They've got nice technology now. And they really are about protecting their own system. And so I'm not surprised at all when I start reporting on police and their psyops in San Francisco, and they're not really doing their jobs anymore like they used to. They're not really arresting the criminals like they used to. They're really just letting the guys who shoot people on the pier, they're letting them go, even though they've been deported to Mexico many times. And they're letting them get off, and then they're celebrating here in San Francisco when people like that get off for killing killing Americans, and so now we're seeing how the police are actually becoming part of the criminal system. They're there for themselves. There's a lot of money involved. And so I'm not at all surprised at this likely scenario of all of a sudden the police have gotten their little tentacles in my Facebook page, where all of a sudden my pictures are being transferred instantaneously. My camera roll's been transferred to Facebook, and instantaneously I get this veiled threat that I'm going to be passing, and I need to decide what's going to happen with my Facebook page. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not afraid of the police. I've been through the gambit with them. I know what that they're all about, and I know that I'm a saved Christian, and I'm saved by the blood of Jesus. The police are in the business of holding things against you all of your life. So they're opposed to Jesus Christ. They're in a system that is diabolical and is one of that they become hardcore sinners in their profession. They have hardness of heart. It's just a job to them, destroying people's lives. Not going after the real hardcore criminals, letting them get away with stuff because they're on a high level, unreachable, the untouchables. They don't go after the ones who are doing the child snuff films. They're not investigating Epstein, who got away with all that stuff for years and years and years. No, they're not. They've all got their hands in the cookie jar of their pensions, their promises. They blackmail other people. They do all kinds of things. You just can't trust the police in this day and age. So, I'm going to point out when they're going after innocent people, like that lady on Oxygen they recently did. They're going after her for 48 years. Yeah, look at all of this stench that they let go free. All of this stench. The guy who was deported to Mexico 4 times for crimes, they let him get off the hook here in San Francisco, and they applauded it for shooting this innocent woman. They got the gun from some police car or something, and he went and he shot this lady, and he claimed it was an accident, and he got away with it, and they applauded him. Okay, they applauded his being set free. Even everyone in San Francisco government is happy that he got set free because he was an illegal immigrant. Well, while they're going in another part of the country, they're going after this woman with a 48-year sentence for allegedly being the mastermind of something, as a greedy woman, who had her husband murdered for a $100,000 life insurance policy, who was a caregiver, who took in the homeless in her home, and let the murderer get away with 5 years while they went for 48 years. That's the kind of thing I'm telling you, that when they start going after the good people, with that kind of spirit, we want her to go 48 years. 48-year sentence wasn't within even the boundaries of the law, that they had to reduce it to 24 years because it was illegal to put her in jail for 48 years. I'm telling you, the police have got their little stinking, vile tentacles in the lives of good people who they want to bring down because for whatever reason, they pick and choose in their minds who's going to jail and who's going to get in trouble, but they're letting these child snuff films, these child rape snuff films, go without punishment. They're not going after the real criminals. They're not going after the real evil people. They let the Golden State serial rapist and killer, Sky Free, living in his home here in Sacramento for 40 years. 40 years, and it was only because of a woman's research and book that came out that people started getting interested in this case again, to want to figure out who did it. And finally, this former police officer was brought to justice, only because this woman who wrote this book, who died shortly thereafter of some disease, that they finally found out it's a former police officer who was a Golden State serial killer rapist. A former police officer. Wow, I'm not too surprised at that. Not too surprised.